Let's go. We're jumping into the TvP. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alkion, we have the American Terran player representing Team BBE. Do I know what it is? I have no idea. It is Slip. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alkion, we have his opponent. We have the American Protoss player representing the Pig Pan. It is JonBom. Hello, say it. Hello. Bienvenidos. Oh boy. Right, and as we get into this as well, it's time to do a very quick scan of the map. This is what we're a little bit more useful. Oh my god, a nice big Reaper cliff. The last 3 maps that we saw literally had like 1 hex Reaper cliffs, which was crazy. It was wild. This is also one of the larger mains as well compared to what we've seen previously. I think on Brimstone, I think the main was a little bit larger as well, but there was just so much else that we were focused on. Likewise here, we do have a little bit more room to ourselves. God, there's so much space here in the natural, Jesus. As we head towards the natural, there's just like a massive area behind the mineral line and behind the gases as well. We have our Overlord pillar a little bit further out, but it's all good. It's all good. Jesus, we have some pretty interesting textures here as well, graved into the ground. But this map is pretty large. There's like layers. There's like layers to this map. Jesus Christ. We got rocks just to make the rush distance a little bit shorter here. Rocks on both sides of the map. We just see, as this is all happening, of course, JonBom is just trying to delay that CC on the low ground. We do have a Raxit span, so a macro opener here by Slip. You love to see it. Ooh, is gonna be skipping his Reaper. Is also going to be skipping his Reaper as well. So Slip, not really too concerned with scouting, is just a little bit more concerned with his economy, being defensive back at home. And he's going for a tech lab first? Oh my god. We're going for Marauders. I haven't seen this in a while here. We're going to be rushing into Marauders. We're going to be rushing into I imagine, Concussive Shell as well. With this is designed to catch Stalkers. So if JonBom opens up Twilight Council, if he opens up Blink, and if he tries to assert himself on the map with Stalkers, then the goal here from Slip is to try to catch those Stalkers and to trap them and to get like 2-3 Stalker kills for free, basically, just because Marauders are such a big surprise. JonBom, I believe, didn't scout the add-on. So yeah, bit of a cheeky move here. You see this pop up every now and then in pro play. Not too often, just because it is risky. It is risky. I want to say like a couple of months ago, like Beyond was doing this. But regardless, we do have those rocks, of course, to knock down, just to, oh, Jesus, a lot of rocks actually, to knock down and to just make the rush distance insanely short. Here we've got Rich Vespine Gas Geysers as well towards the top left. Towards the bottom right, something a little bit different. I guess more normal bases, but yeah, pretty large area nonetheless. I don't think, oh my god, we even have a gold. Gold with rocks? Okay. We got a gold base, but with rocks in the middle as well, just so I guess we can open this area up afterwards. Okay, interesting. That does mean that there's less mineral patches as well. Oh, I say that there's six mineral patches. Oh my god, and some of these have a lot of minerals. Jesus, have we seen this before? 1800 mineral patch, gold patches, I should say. I don't know, visually it's very striking. Visually, I should say. Got a Zelnaga in the middle. The middle feels really messy, and I like it. I like it. We have a Zelnaga in the middle, and I believe we have... yeah, we have steam vents covering the Zelnaga, and there's like 3 different entryways into it. It's like so congested. On top of that, we got high ground, we got low ground. We got the rocks as well to open things up. I kind of like it. I kind of want to see a big fight here in the middle, just to see how everything interacts, especially with like these narrow pathways. It actually looks really interesting. I love it. Meanwhile, the Marauder was able to move out, but can they get too much? No, Blink is done. Marauders will get cleaned up. So unfortunately, this opener doesn't feel like it really worked out too well. Like, again, it's a really big investment, and you're relying on, like, the initial, like, gateway units to move out. And sure, we got an adept, but not too much else. So JonBom does have the map control. Going to be taking his third base behind this. Pre-ascended follow-up as well. We have Forge, we've got Charge. Pretty greedy here from JonBom. He's only working off of 2 gates, so it was a Blink 2-gate opener into the third. This has also been making the rounds in TvP. A lot of Protoss players like Hero, like... Not Classic, Stats has been doing this a lot as well on this channel, going for these much more economic like blink openers. It does mean that you can't really threaten the Terran too much, but again, like, you know, we don't really care too much about that, I guess. Just more about getting that map control. Behind this, Jesus, the main is so big. I mentioned it at the start how large the main was, but like I feel like it's really sinking in just how much room there is. Jesus Christ. Let's throw down the rest of our Raxes. I think what's important to point out is that we're working up towards 5 Raxes here. We haven't thrown down a third CC yet. Slip may not be intending to. We also have only a single NG bay for +1. So this is all leading into a 2-base timing. We'll see if he does throw down a third CC or not. Regardless, it's looking quite aggressive from Slip. This looks chaotic. It does. It does. Behind this, you know, we're still refining ourselves. Again, we don't really have too much splash damage, which is the scary thing. Like, JonBom has been pretty greedy overall here. And as a result, he doesn't have, you know, Colossi, doesn't have Disruptors, he doesn't have Storm either. He's working with a pure Gateway army, so this push from Slip can do a lot of damage. Oof. Already a late reaction out of JonBom. He loses a decent chunk of his own Stalkers, takes down the Observer as well. Now JonBom is in the dark. He doesn't know for certain if there is a third CC to be landed or if we have a 2-base all in, and the boys are being pulled. Slip is going all in. And JonBom has no splash damage. Again, no Colossus, no Disruptors, no Storm, no Archons. Stalkers are going to confirm the push at least, so JonBom is aware, but... and he does have a lot of gateways. He does have charge. He can react. But I don't know if he's going to be able to get enough. At the same time, we have a Prism, but we can't really afford any warpins across the map. We need to focus everything here on the defense. Yo, that's a lot of Zealots. Oh, that's a lot of tanks. Oh god, the SCVs are doing what they can here to tank for the army, and it looks like they will. The tank shots are insane. 4 tanks behind this just going ham on the Protoss. We do have an overcharge, and it's helping, but oh god, the DPS here from a Slip's army is just a bit much. Shield battery goes down. We're running out of Marines. We're running out of that buffer, though. Oh, God. But with the death of the Zealots, that's going to be the death of the Protoss army. Slip is going to barely break through. Yo, we got another warp in, though. Slip, he is running out of steam. He only has 1 tank remaining. And even if JonBom loses his third base, like, that's okay. He can still just muster up an army here instead. He's working on Immortals, more Sentries of Force Fields. It looks like JonBom is holding. I'm not too sure if pushing into the third was the wisest move. I think maybe, because we're all in, right? It's probably better to just push into the natural instead and, like, wedge yourself between the third and the natural and kind of force really awkward engagements. Oh, as the tanks are going to be going down, JonBom, he cleans this up. There are only Marines and Marauders remaining. And Slip. Yeah, he's kind of run out of momentum. He's got some libs, sure. But I don't think he can really find much more damage. He's going to try and get that third base. But again, the Gateway army is pretty formidable at this point. Oh, we do shave off a lot of Zealots. Yo, can we do this? Can we break through? If we get the third, that's fine. We still need more. We need to keep going, Pop. We need to keep going. Again, JonBom, he can afford to lose the third base. I know it's a little bit more of an awkward route, but I feel like, yeah, moving here along the right-hand side, up this ramp, and actually taking control of some of this production and breaking into the natural would have been maybe a little bit better. As we're headed in that direction now, but at this point, It may just be a little bit too little too late. The Stalkers push forward here. Libs do siege, but one of them gets picked off. Oh, nice target firing here on these Immortals. Slip still finding some damage. He's not out of this yet. Oh, never mind. There's no transition here from Slip. No, none whatsoever. The last remaining SCVs have been pulled across the map. This is all we have left to work with, as everything else is on fire. Everything back at home is gone. I'm gonna be able to get one of these Immortals. No, the Immortal survives. And Slip once again is gonna try to break into the natural. We have a shield battery and an overcharge, but it will be out of range. Boys are being pulled. Yo, and the Marines are getting on top of the Stalkers. No more Zealots to defend. Mate, Slip? Mate, has he done it? With the second boy pool, was it enough? We're breaking into the natural. We pick up the tank as well. JonBom is out of money because he worked in some Zealots. Zealots coming from behind. We pull the boys as well. It was a close one. It was close. Slip almost was able to pull it off. He just barely didn't have enough. G gets called, and JonBom takes game one. Oh, GG. That was pretty close though. Again, I do think that when you're all in like that, like getting the third is never enough, of course. We're looking for some more critical damage. And JonBom does take a lead here in this series, but we have more games ahead of us. Oh, this map is by May on Fire, and it's called Virtual Virtue. Interesting. Let's go. I'm ready to bear witness. I didn't switch the scenes. I know. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine, Poppy. The single G, true. I don't know these players. Are any of them a favorite? They're both more amateur players, but they are relatively evenly matched. It's all good. It's all good. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Virtual Virtue, we have the American Terran player. He is red, representing Team BBE. It is Slip. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Virtual Virtue, we have the American Protoss player representing the Pigpan. It is JonBom. Oh, speaking of big mains. Naturals are farther than the mains. They are. That's so interesting, right? How it reminds me of we don't have them anymore. It reminds me of like kind of like pocket-based setups as well, but the naturals would be further back. But yeah, this is interesting. So because of the layout, from the main base, you can actually cover the entryway of the natural. I'm thinking tanks. I'm thinking if you siege tanks up here, you can, again, like cover this area, which is crazy. Which covers not just the entryway into the natural, but also one of the ways into the third. Oh my god. That's wild. That's actually wild. The main bases themselves also quite large, but I like that even though the bases are large, like there's like a reason for it, you know, like there's another purpose for the main, which is of course to not just even cover that, you can even cover I mean, you typically do cover the triangular third, but yeah, that's kind of crazy. Part of it, but not all of it. Yeah. It doesn't it doesn't go all the way to the ramp itself, but like regardless, this area, I should say. Oh my god. Speaking of, once again, insanely open a third base here with like 4 angles of attack in a way. Jesus. I was wondering if there were like less minerals here than normal, but I think we're good. Oh my god. As yeah, even providing some SimCity here would be interesting as well when it comes to drop play, when it comes to even like using this area against you as well. Interesting. All right, we go as we're getting into our openers. This time Slip once again, is going for a Rax expand, so nothing too crazy here. Just like the last game, he's actually... Just like the last game, he's actually going to be skipping his SCV Scout, and he's also going to be skipping his Reaper Scout as well. But unlike game number 1, he's not going to be going for a Tech Lab, so no rush into Marauders or anything like that. We're going into a Reactor instead. Typically, to be safe, we also have a bunker, but with 4 Marines, we should be okay here against the first Adept. We're getting into our 1-1-1. Meanwhile, across the map, Twilight Council opener as well, so again, nothing too crazy. Now that we've established the openers, and now that the Adept is being shooed away, let's have a look at the map. We can take some time to ourselves here. Oh boy. This third looking a lot more defensible than some of the others that we've seen so far, at least the linear third. Coming in towards the middle of the map. Do have a couple of rocks that we can take down as well. This map is actually pretty huge. This map actually feels massive. Oh my god. Again, Rooks just to, I guess, gain easier access here to the fringe sides of the base. We do see the Marines rushing on forward as well. The shield battery is late. No! Don't do it, Poppy. The shield battery is late. We're going to be forced to warp. We're going to be forced to pull the boys as well. The Hellions are rushing across the map. I didn't even take note that it wasn't going to be a Widowmine follow-up. It was going to be Hellions instead. Oh, does get a decent amount of damage. 4 probes do go down. What's interesting is that behind this, we are going to be going into that Widowmine drop, but it's going to be committed. We do have an armory behind it as well. Unfortunately, only 2 Widowmines. The reason for this is because we made Hellions. If we had gone straight into Widowmine production, we would have a full medevac full of mines at this point. So this armory isn't going to be made use of that much, but regardless, detection is going to be required, and JonBom does have a robo. Does have an observer, thankfully. You see that mine drop going into the main base. Oh. Nice reactions here out of JonBom, only taking 2 probe kills. Able to get the hell out of there. Oh my god, the medevac does get sniped, and we have detection to clean up the last mine. At the same time, Hellion is looking for some more damage. The wall is not a wall. Technically, these Hellions can morph into Hellbats. Technically. I don't think that would be amazing, but they can. Oh, more probes are going to be lining up here. Ugh. And earlier, we only had 4 probe kills, but now we are going up to 13. 9 probes in total going down from that aggression. Ay, ay, ay. So I want to see a really great start here from Slip. Very unexpected as well. Like, it's not usual that we see Marine into Hellion like that. Usually if we see Hellion aggression, it's paired with Reapers, just because they have a little bit more synergy. That's why this push was a little bit awkward here. The reason for that is that usually there is a wall on top of this ramp. Usually we do have hold position on those units, but the Reaper does help with that. Meanwhile, the mine shot's up! Ooh. Oh my god, I don't think that was intentional, but the mine did kill the observer as well, so the mine's going to be able to survive and maybe get another shot off. We are going to be working and chronoing out the second observer. It's a lucky shot. By JonBom. We go, the observer does come out in time. They're going to be able to get another one off. And we are finally calming down with the mine drops. Unfortunately, we lost the first medevac, and this second medevac is a little bit trapped. Hopefully Slip can get it out of there. Oh, as once again, we are going into a massive swell of Raxes. A third CC is behind this though, so this time we're not going to be going all in. And we'll see which base he takes as well. Meanwhile, JonBom, similarly to the last game, he was also working off of only 2 gateways. Now we see the gateway explosion. That's why we were struggling a little bit to defend. But it does seem like JonBom, this seems to be his kind of bread and butter build here for PvT. Getting a faster third Nexus, getting it up and running, while still having some Stalkers in the early game. Push does get scouted. JonBom is fully aware we don't quite have any shield batteries ready yet here at the third base, so it's looking quite exposed. Slip going to be able to bust on forward. Charge isn't done either. This third base is in a lot of trouble. Again, the purpose of being active with these Stalkers is to try to force the siege, try to engage, but it looks like the third base is going to be going down. And again, without charge, we cannot engage. Third does fall. Slip's going to be able to back on off, expand behind this. And despite the more economic opener here from JonBom, it hasn't worked out for him. He hasn't been able to really make that pay off. Once charge is done, there's going to be a period here where he can go for a massive counterattack, but Slip is already getting ready back at home. Go 4 tanks. We could actually meet this army in the middle of the map, which could be a little bit awkward. Oh. You spot each other. Medevac does make it out. Let's go. Okay. Be careful, Papi. As once again, we're going to be going into a Templar Archives. From here, we can gain access to Storm. Again, very reminiscent of the last game. Very similar. Rose heading over. Yo, let's siege up in range of the main where we can't kill anything because there's nothing in range. It's beautiful. At the same time, JonBom, he bypasses the army. He's going to make a choice. He turns around. Doesn't go for the base trade. We'll see if he can engage. A lot of the buy was out of position, so these tanks are looking pretty vulnerable. Yeah, the tanks are going to be going down. At least 2, at least 3 of them. Zealots coming from behind as well. Slip just not recognizing the location of the army. Didn't know that it was behind him. As a result, the tanks were just left so exposed. Slip was able to pick off a couple of units here and there, but the third base does survive. And the tank count being reset is pretty brutal. Thankfully, we're finding our army. We already have ghosts for those EMPs. And JonBom hasn't started Storm. Let's charge that Archon against Ghosts. I'm a little bit worried here for our Protoss player. There we go. The EMPs do connect with at least some of those Zealots. Zealots are going to be going down the Archon soon thereafter. And this was an expensive trade for John. Yeah, a trade that he couldn't really afford. Nice scan there from Slip. He did end up losing his Ghost, of course, but he's going to be able to rebuild. His production is going crazy behind this. JonBom losing those Archons. Again, it takes a lot to replace those. JonBom may have just lost too much. Still no Storm. Ah. To be fair, I don't know if even the Storm would save him in this situation. Slip is looking to push on in. We do have a Prism across the map, but again, we can't afford to warp it across the map right now. We have the EMPs on those Archons. Yo, a couple more Zealots are being morphed in, but the mines are going to be going off here. Oof. A little bit of friendly fire, but these Zealots are going to be going down. GG gets called, and Slip takes game number 2. Ooh. GG. I'm catching up in the chat, Pop. I'm catching up. What's interesting here is the bottom right is completely blocked off unless you mine out those minerals or break the rocks. Oh, really? I hadn't realized that, actually. I actually completely missed that. Jesus. Hey, there you go. But GG, we do have a tied-up series. We're going to the ace match between JonBom and Slip. Oh, and the ace match is going to be taking place on another new map. Again, I'm pretty sure we have unique maps all the way through. Oh my god, my eyes! I'm getting romanticide vibes here, but much brighter. Hecate. It's so brightly like neon purple. Let's go. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Hecate, we have the American Terran representing team BBE. It is Slip. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner. I'm loving how these like colors are popping out, by the way. It looks so good. We have the American Protoss representing the Pigpan. It is JonBom. Oh, but this is it feels like it's a much deeper or much more intense shade of purple compared to Romanticide. Romanticide was a little bit more dull. This is far brighter. Oh. As we get into the ace match here, once again, much more standard Reaper clip. Feels good, man. The main base, much smaller compared to what we saw before. And we'll see how things go from here. Once we do get through our openers, we can scan the map at least a little bit. It feels like I think we saw it a little bit in the last game as well, but maybe it was 2 games ago. It's gonna be difficult keeping track of all the names of all these maps. But yeah, massive areas behind the mineral patches. This seems to be just Slip's go-to here. He's going for a racked expand into a reactor first. Pretty greedy stuff. No Marines, no Reapers, no SCV Scout. You don't need it, Poppy. You don't need it. Oh. And oh my god, I don't think we've quite seen this texture before. We've seen bridges. If you remember, Romanticide did have wooden bridges as well. But I don't think we've seen this texture specifically. I'm digging it. Let's go. Just something a little bit different aesthetically. All the bridges, Poppy, all the bridges. Also getting Data C vibes. Jesus. And yeah. Base count overall looking quite decent here. Third base is a lot more defensible. Like compared, I think almost compared to every single map we've seen so far, the thirds here seem to be like the most, I don't want to say standard, but they're not as exposed. Like we have relatively narrow choke points coming in to the triangular third, and same with the linear third as well. I guess this ramp is a little bit larger, but again, a little more manageable. So it feels like a much more macro-oriented map where the first 4 bases are easier to secure. The 5th is when things get a little bit more crazy, at least a little bit, as you do get spread thin quite a bit. Yeah, just interesting to take note of. And with that reactor opener, we already have a swell of Marines are going to be moving out across the map. The Hellions are about to meet up with them as well, just like the last game. And we'll see if JonBom can defend. No ramp going into the natural base. We are looking to wall off. We do have a much faster shield battery this time. Can he get it up in time? Probe is going to fall. Shield battery is still a couple of seconds away from finishing, and the shield battery itself is under threat. Oh, it is going to be going down. No, we don't want to pull the boys. They get pulled into the Hellions. Oh my god. Probes are going to be falling left and right. Every single worker here at the natural is going to be going down. And even though we went into a Twilight Council, into a Dark Shrine opener, I don't know if that's really going to come into play. Thankfully, only a single Marine left, but we're not done. We're not done, Papi. Oh my god. The probes, they're lining up. They're all going to get roasted. That one Marine has been going ham here on the Stalker as well. And it even takes out the Stalker. The target firing. All in all, 21 probes went down. We did not scout the Dark Shrine. Oh, no, we did. Now we even scouted the Dark Shrine. We know, Papa, we know. And behind this, we're not done. We have that Widow Mine Drop. Mine Drop's going to be moving out to finish off whatever is left here in the main base. Meanwhile, JonBom, with that Dark Shrine, he's going to be going for his own harass across the map. Now, Slip did see the Dark Shrine, but did he see the Dark Shrine? He's been muling. he doesn't have a scan, Poppy. He doesn't have a scan. He's been muling. Oh, God. The DTs are also going to be dealing a lot of damage here. We have to pull the boys away from the natural, away from the main. We're going full NA, Papi. Let's go. No. The SCVs come back. We only have one tank here for DPS, and the Prism keeps everything alive. These CTs can end the game. Likewise, the mines as well across the map are going to be able to clean up what little is left back at home. We have a Raven on the way, but it's not going to finish. No, the Raven. We have to repair. We're desperately trying to keep it alive. It looks like we will. Will we? Oh, God. It's a couple seconds away. 2, 1. The Raven comes out, but everything's dead. There's nothing. We can't afford anything. We can throw down an auto turret. Oh boy, medevac coming back. Mines eventually got cleaned up. Ooh, last mine goes down as well. And yeah, I can't believe it. The DTs have just won the game. Like the problem is that even if we have an auto turret, we can just pick up. Like the Prism Micro. The Prism Micro is king. That's it. It's over. We're camping the production. There's one Raven and one medevac. Like, this is what I mean. We have the auto turret. We just pick up. Mate, JonBom, he knows. He knows how to game. We just pick up. We don't even care. One Marine comes out. We have some counter drop play. Let's go. Pick up, puppy. Pick up. A Marine versus a Prism. Who wins? There we go. We do have a... Oh my god, you have another auto turret. The Prism! Jesus. Stuck around for far too long. The Marine is going for it. He's going for it. He gets the Prism. Let's go. JonBom a little bit too cavalier with his Prism control. And now everything has changed. It's all like... Behind this though, JonBom does have better mining. He is making Blink Stalkers. He has an economy. He has his natural saturated. As impressive as it was that Slip was able to kill that Prism, I still think it's over for him. Despite the insane amount of damage he dealt earlier, DT's, the Invisible Man, is too good, Papi. It's just too good. Smurge. We're gonna try and take a ninja base. We have a couple of SCVs remaining. 8 SCVs. Once again, the auto turret just trying to do what it can. But even if we do get back to mining here, it's just not. We just need the Stalkers to move out. That's all we need. We just need even this Stalker army that we already have. 5 Stalkers would be enough. It's so heartbreaking. Like, Slip started off so well. With his Marines, with his Hellions. If only he hadn't muled. Like, he muled it at just the worst time. He wasn't able to really confirm that it was a Dark Shrine, or it wasn't able to click for him. We've got 2 Marines coming out. DT's looking for the ninja base. Which hasn't been scouted, to be fair. JonBom, he doesn't know. Ah. Oh no, the Marines, they go down. DT survive, and here we go. The Stalkers are moving on forward. They will finally get eyes on the last mining CC here of Slip. He fought hard. He fought his heart out. GG gets called, and JonBom takes the series 2-1. Oh, GG. What did we just witness? Yeah, he didn't see the shrine. Didn't see the shrine. GG, well played. With that, Slip is eliminated from the tournament. JonBom moves on to the next round, and this is where the pro players start to show up. Here we go. If you're from the land of Europe, maybe you're a little bit more familiar with some of these as they do pop up. We are going to be getting into JonBom versus Jomek.